Hope everybody's good. About to go live with Real Ruda. I don't know why it looks like this on my end. It's like the quality is decreasing as weeks go on. And there's a new device too, so I don't know. Okay. Hope everybody's well. Saturday Night Live with Skits. We just surpassed the 2-month mark. Huge shout out to everybody that's been on so far. Rudiment on my end, it says unable to join. Hope all is well. Hope everybody's doing good right now. And we just give y'all a heads up while I'm here. Hold on 1 second.
All right, can you see me?
Yeah, I see you, man.
All right, cool.
All right, so I just don't know how it's gonna work afterwards because I jumped into your live. So just make sure afterwards, you repost it to IGTV in case I don't have the ability to do so on my own.
I got you. That's what the plan was.
All right, are you able to see the pin on your end?
Yes.
All right, cool, dope. Yo, thank you for taking the time to be here. Pretty much the concept is I do my best to ask 16 questions to guests in 16 minutes, just to prevent myself from talking so much. Which is another reason I got the mask on, to keep myself from talking so much, because I'm not the star of the show. You're the star of the show, you know.
I got you.
Uh, so Yeah, basically we're ready to get into it, and then afterwards, if there's anything specifically you want to speak about or promote, we'll do that after the 16th question. Sound good?
That sounds great.
Dope, man. Hopefully you got a chance to check out some of the past episodes. I'm
I
just
haven't.
gonna.
I'm not. I'm not even gonna begin to lie. I haven't been able to.
I mean, it's all good. We're about 2.5 months in. So
Okay.
normally I set the timer at 0, and I just do my best to see how many questions we can knock out in 16 minutes. Sometimes we go over a little bit. Sometimes, to take less time. But pretty much, the first 8 questions are general questions,
Okay.
like kind of, rapid fire A or B questions. And then we go into a little bit more of the more in-depth questions about yourself as
That's
a
cool.
producer, as an engineer, and so forth.
Okay.
All right, so I'm ready to start the clock when you are.
Ready.
Dope, man. Thank you again, man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Cool. Me
All
too.
right.
Man. Yeah.
All right. When you head outside during the pandemic, hand sanitizer or gloves?
Hand sanitizer.
New York Mets or New York Yankees?
I'm all for the underdogs. I would say the Mets. Queens.
Okay, okay. I mean, I kind of thought you would pick the Phillies, so my thinking cap for today is the Philadelphia Phillies hat, of course.
But you said Mets or Yankees, no?
Yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying I'm wearing the Phillies hat, paying homage to
Hey
you. You
man,
feel me?
I can't stand when someone asks a question with the A and B response and someone says C. I can't stand when someone does that. So if you ask me a direct question, I'll try to answer directly, best way possible.
Oh no, no, no. I should have said that in the beginning. Like this is just the
Right.
inspiration for the hat,
I was gonna say Phillies over both. But
Nas or
they
Jay
win
Z?
when I watch. I don't know what it is about that. Every time I watch the Phillies, they win. I don't watch them.
That's good.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
watch
good
them.
luck, man.
So what else?
Nas or, Nas or Jay Z?
That's tough. Why are you doing that to me, man? That's tough.
These are the hard hitting questions, man.
I think that Jay-Z has a better choice of beats. I think that Nas could be reveled as a better artist uh, if he chose better beats. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, very
Best way
relatable.
I can answer, best way I can answer that.
Who do you think won the versus battle, RZA or Premier?
That's like apples and pears, man. But I did watch it. Uh, I say RZA. He had better sound. He his beats are also more versatile in my opinion. So I think RZA won.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely a popular choice.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I'm always working, so I don't know what the popular choice is.
Well, this Wednesday, I'm not sure if you're able to see the DMX or Snoop Dogg. I mean, I was able to catch a majority of it.
That was
From the clips.
actually I'm one of the people that inspired that. I was watching Swizz's live, and he was like, "Who should there be a versus?" And I was like, "Snoop and DMX all day." And then they was like, "Yo, that's a good idea," because they're kind of around the same age range. They kind of, you know what I mean? It's cool to see that happen. But I think who won? I say Snoop won because he was more engaging. He got up and was dancing, as you see all the memes afterwards. He was dancing. He was more engaging. It was really cool to see X up there though, just to be in the public eye again, doing something positive and uplifting like that. So big ups to X, and I heard the new beats that Swizz did for the new project. Man, crazy. So hopefully we get to hear that project. I'm excited about it.
I definitely agree. If we had another 3 months of quarantine and you can only choose one streaming service, would it be Spotify or iTunes?
iTunes.
Okay. Now, I first met you at an event at Supreme Bar's Judging out in Philadelphia the first time. So I have a good question, kind of like a segue from that, right?
Okay.
Who would you rather watch as a judges panel out of the icons from TV? The American Idol OG judges panel or the America's Best Dance Crew judges panel? If you had to choose one to watch.
I'm gonna just say Idol. I'm gonna say Idol. They
Okay.
they just seem a little bit more organized, and they've been doing it longer, to my opinion. So
Yeah, most def. That was Simon Cowell, Paula Abdul, Randy Jackson, the OGs right there.
I actually prepare people for those shows, like the Voice, and I used to stand in line with my clients. I'm never doing that again. I used to be in line for
Yeah,
12 to
that's
18
hours.
hours just to get into the hotel. Nah, not doing that no more. But yeah, I'd say Idol just because I'm kind of biased because I've helped more people prepare for that show than the other, but Idol, hands down.
Now, the last rapid fire question. What do you think is the best game show of all time? Family Feud or The Price is Right?
Oh man, I grew up watching The Price is Right, so I'm gonna say The Price is Right because there's just a lot more that can go on, and they had those cool like the ladies in the bikinis always had my attention as a kid. Um, Big ups to Bark Barker, but yeah, I'll say that one. Family Feud, I've enjoyed that one more as an adult.
Okay. You want to know a fun fact? Miss Parker from Friday was actually one of the Price is Right girls.
Really,
Yeah, that's how she got the part. Ice Cube actually cast her from The Price is Right.
if I'm not mistaken, Will Smith used to stand outside of the Price is Right docking area where people go, like all the producers and everything, drive in and out. And he used to be like, "Hey, I got an idea for a show," and he used to stand out there every morning at 9 o'clock. And one day, the producer, they needed a slot to fill, and he was like, "What do you got, kid?" And he came up with the Fresh Prince of Bel Air from
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah, all that
That's
like
crazy.
Dr. Phil, The Price is Right, like all those shows are like on the same stage. It's pretty crazy. I'm not sure.
Icon.
Like a lot of those shows are on the same stages.
Well, my personal preference is Family Feud because I like the way that it's fast, rapid fire. The same way I got these questions right here, like rapid fire, A or B, and you try to figure out what the crowd would think. I think when I freestyle, it's sort of like that style that I think of. When I see a topic or any object and I want to rap about it, I kind of think what would most out of the 100 people want to see or what would they find the most relatable. So that's how I sort of set up the first 8 questions. I wanted this to be like Family Feud. Like, what's the first thing that pops in your head?
I didn't know what was coming. Yeah, that was pretty good because I didn't know what you was about to say. So
Yeah, I wanted it to be as random as possible to be fun.
yeah, I'm with it.
So how did you get the Rudiment name for anybody listening that's unaware?
I was in the studio and I was like, I got to think of a name for myself, and I wanted his first letter to be R because my first name is Ron, and I wanted to be able to get the R cufflinks and get the R embroidery somewhere and not have to change because my first name was a different first letter. So that's where the R came from. Then I actually wanted it to mean something. So I opened up the dictionary and I came to rudiment with an I, as in rudimentary. And I like the fact that it's like the foundation of all things. And then later on, I found out that like one of the first things you learn when you learn how to play drums, the traditional, like I guess the classical way of learning how to play drums is the rudiments. So it was real fitting for me. Without the rudiments, you don't have anything. It's like the foundation,
Ah, the origin of your name literally means origin.
basically. Yeah.
That's so dope. That's so dope.
Thank
Who are your producer inspirations, like as far as your production inspirations on your style?
Years ago, my dad introduced me to a producer by the name of Raphael Sadiq, and I really liked the way his guitar runs were because I don't play guitar, so that really inspired me to be able to play the keys like a guitar player. Listening to him, and he did a lot of ghost production for Dr. Dre. Another producer would be um, Timbaland. I get a lot of my ideas for where I see sounds shape. And when I first started producing, I heard that record he did for Aaliyah with the baby noise in the background, and he always did something extra in his music that made me push my mind to uh, be more imaginative. And he's a big inspiration. And I guess another one would be Quincy Jones, because he produced Thriller, of course, and he produced some awesome records. And I kind of take from what he does, where we'll take a client and we'll be able to create what they're hearing in their head, and it's a learned skill. So those are my tops, I would say.
As far as your origins, as far as production wise.
Yeah, I mean, I work with many different genres. I'm not like in a box any genre particularly.
So if we went to one genre for the next question, who would you say are your top three favorite producers in the hip hop, modern producers in hip hop?
Um, I like Travis Scott. He's a musician like myself, so he approaches music differently. Um, there's another dude. I think Mellow Marshmello is pretty good,
Okay.
and there's Metro Boomin. There's so many like the new dudes like they're dope. There's so many different producers that are like they're amazing, you know. So I can't really think about just one, and then you'll find out that another one has been producing behind the scenes and they were ghost producing someone else. So there's so many to choose from. As far as new ones, it's hard to keep up, but I would say Mustard is probably in my top three for like right now. Who he's done so much work. Um, I've actually been on a flip of a coin and have been the latter of the choices between Mustard and working with clients, working with myself and other. There's another producer as well. I know Dark Child has done that to me at least once. Um, so I respect those guys. I respect all of them.
That's a pretty epic list right there. Definitely.
Yeah, it's like it's it's an endless list. Really, it's hard to just pick three. I respect
Yeah,
I respect everybody doing it because we all go through the same things in here. You know.
who would be your dream collaboration as far as an artist?
I've always wanted to work with Adele. Like always
Oh,
since I heard her on the UK show that she was on where she got discovered, I was like, she has a big voice. I always like artists with a big sound and that artists that make a big sound when they work with a producer, and she always is able to deliver that. I don't know if it's her producers to thank for that or her, but I always wanted to work with Adele because of that.
yeah, she's definitely one of the most talented singers.
Yeah, like she don't just sing, she sings. You know, like I like
With the A, extra A on it.
yeah, yeah. Make it.
So I know you said that you thought of the idea as far as Snoop Dogg and DMX. That was one of your choices you brought out there. But if you curated a versus battle yourself, which two artists would it be?
It's funny. We were just talking about this. It was Stevie Wonder and Smokey Robinson. Stevie Wonder and Smokey Robinson was hands down. Want to see that?
Hmm.
I think that would be huge.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, so Motown legends right there. The Motown battle.
yeah, yeah. I think that needs to happen for sure.
Oh wow. That's that's actually mind blowing because that's something that would deserve a million people watching at once. That's something I think people would pay on pay-per-view to see. Actually,
Definitely.
what was your motivation to get involved in production?
Um, at the time I was working, I was working hard, and my dad actually needed some help with the bills around the house, and I couldn't get the Beechwood. It's like a $1,400 drum set at the time that I had on layaway, and I had to take the money I had out because he needed some help, and they would not let me do it. I had to get some equal or lesser value, and I was like, well, I'm not going to get a snare drum because it's just a snare drum. So I looked around the room and I seen these kids playing on these machines, never seen them before. I walked over to one. I said, well, I'll grab this, and I'll grab the speakers that come with it. And I was a kid. People looking at me like I was crazy. They're like, what do you mean you're going to grab that? They didn't know I had money on file or whatever. And I just picked it up, went home, and that's how I started producing. I started making beats. My dad got me a keyboard to go with it. Kids from high school came by and had me make songs for them, and I was producing. That's how it started.
Wow. I mean, what age would you say that would be? Like high school, junior high school?
I was a junior. Yeah, I was about 16 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, like you know you have a lot of years in like expertise wise, you know.
Yes, when I started this year, it'll be 20 years in August. August 13th when I first went in a real studio. Back
That's
in
dope.
2000, yeah. 52nd and Girard out here in Philly. Live Tracks Multimedia. Shouts out to Howard Jackson. But yeah, it started a long time ago. And it was funny because the producer that taught me how to use the MPC got a call from Scott Storch, and he ended up taking Scott's place, working for Dre. Because on Dr. Dre's contract, you had to find a legitimate replacement for yourself in order to be on the contract. So he called him and he was like, "How would you like to work for Dr. Dre?" He's like, "What you mean? I'm there." So he stopped training me how to use the equipment in the studio and flew to LA. I never saw him again. I heard different records. And I'm like, oh, I hear him.
That's crazy. You know what's funny? A funny segue is I've actually heard Scott Storch was actually in the beginning of the Roots.
Yeah, he's from Philly originally. He's from Canada, and he's the original keyboard player of the Roots. Yeah, he's from Allegheny.
That's so crazy. Like, you know, the segue right there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually not too far from that area right now, which is probably pretty funny. But he took Scott's place. Scott was able to get out and be independent from there, and that's around the time. This is back in 2000, between 2000 and yeah, around there where he ended up getting some pretty big gifts for working for Timbaland, and some pretty cool stuff happened with them that I'm aware of. I'm not gonna speak
That's
on.
dope. I mean, so as him being your mentor as far as the equipment, he may have had that connection because of Scott Storch, more than likely because of the Philadelphia connection.
I'm not sure. I just know that they were really close, and he gave him a certain amount of time to be like that person, and then he gave me that trickle down. He was like, "You're gonna." He's like, "I think you're gonna do really well." You know, he's like, "I think you're a talented dude, and you're gonna do really well." And I've done some pretty cool things, which I think that's your next question. From
Yeah,
what
yeah. I mean,
gifts you have.
that's so crazy. So I know you have a lot of career accomplishments. Which is your favorite, most enjoyable, or most rewarding? Like one that pops out in my head automatically is the Underground Music Awards. I was also nominated for an award. You won an Underground Music Award, so that's like a a big accomplishment, like having that on your resume. But what do you feel is your favorite or your most enjoyable or rewarding accomplishment within your career?
There's been a lot of enjoyable moments because it's been a long road, even though a lot of people don't know me at all. Um, my biggest moment was finding out Buster was coming to Boston. I was in Boston. I was operating one studio in Boston, one studio in Philly, and I was in Boston, and I got a call to come work on Whitney Houston's new album that would have been released. So
Wow,
I was waiting for Buster to show up so I could shop him some tracks. So I had to make a judgment call like on the spot, like Buster Rhymes, Whitney Houston, Buster Rhymes. So what do you think I chose? So I chose Whitney Houston. I came out here to Philly, and we did 17 tracks over maybe a 2 week period. Um, awesome work. It was with a group of guys called the Philadelphia Heat Factory. Shout out to those guys. Some of them formerly worked with Rough Riders as well. And we got the project done. And she went back into rehab, unfortunately, but the music was great. Jaguar Wright, shouts out to Jaguar Wright, was on the writing. Her and her husband was doing a lot of the writing behind the scenes. So they got the music, they wrote to it, and then we were going to send it to Whitney, and she was going to come out with the project. But it never got released. But the other thing was probably the biggest thing is having Michael Jackson was interested in working with my company and working with me and mentoring me before he passed away. Is probably the biggest thing I could speak on, which not really something that I do speak on much, but it's it's something that was being discussed.
I
So
mean,
that it kind of like really hurt.
all idols, and it's unfortunate that they passed away too early.
Yeah, yeah. Those are things. Those are the things that stand out. And I've had a lot of those situations where things like right about to look like they're about to happen, and this everything just flatline. So that's kind of what has experienced what I've experienced over the past years. Gone through a lot, but I have been able to work with people from all over the world, and I've had some wonderful experiences that I wouldn't trade. So I'm happy with my ride, with the way my life is going. I'm cool with it.
Wow, that definitely. Just that part right there sounds like, worthy of a chapter in a book.
Yeah,
Like it sounds like a chapter in a book right there.
yeah. I can tell some stories. I definitely can tell some stories. I just
Yeah,
I just
we're up to
respect.
the 16th question. Maybe in the future, if I'm able to, move this to a different like platform or outlet, right? Maybe I have more questions because it'd be great to hear some studio stories. But I only have one last 16th question because we're just about at the 20-minute mark, and this is the last question. That felt like only 5 minutes, right?
It did feel like 5 minutes went by.
Yeah, it feels like only 5 minutes. It's crazy. So, all right. So the final question is, I know you provide many services for artist development, promotion, but what do you feel are your three most powerful and impactful services that you provide for artists?
Well, for artists that are looking to break into the music industry that don't have an outlet, I'm definitely a one-stop shop industry connector. I can get anybody anything from millions to billions of streams online, whereas though it's YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Billboard recognition, on up to red carpet interviews, uh, award ceremony interviews, whatever you can think of. I could probably make it happen with the resources that I've obtained over the years. Um, Most people come to me for beats, mixing and mastering, voice lessons. So it's I'm like a one-stop shop, really. Whatever you need.
I could just imagine being multi-talented. There's so many things that you can provide of value for artists.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. Just so much as far as experience, knowledge, having the connections in case there is anything that you're unable to physically do, but somebody else can that in your circle can physically do. So there's just so much that I had to drop that final question for anybody interested. So thank you again for having an interview with me on Saturday Night Live with Skits. 16 questions in 16 minutes. We hit it pretty close to the mark. We're at 20 minutes, 21 minutes right now. So that was pretty good. You have so much value and so much knowledge. In general, is there anything else you want to leave with the people before we post this on IGTV?
I'm just like, hey, let's work, y'all. If you're in the East Coast, I'm in Philly at Drowning Fish Studio. I'm working out a Milk Boy Studio for mixing and mastering right now. I'm in 1122 MMG. If you're just starting out and you want to work out of a studio where there's a major label A&R present that can give you some feedback in real time. I'm major label affiliated. I have a plethora of DJs with their own radio stations, over 70,000 worldwide. I can get a lot of attention to the right artists with the right budget, of course.
Nice. Rudiment. Thank you. Thank you for being on, man. I know everything shifted. A lot of it is out of the physical. No more physical shows at the moment. No
Yeah,
more clubs open at the moment in the same capacity. So this is pretty much what it is for summer 2020, is us going on IG Live and doing our best to remain productive.
yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thank you as well. I know you're in the middle of a studio session, so thank you for taking the time out
Yeah, we are working
to
right now.
answer the questions before we post it on IGTV.
Thank you to Brian Phillips. Check out Brian Phillips. Grant Phillips music online. We're working on his project, so I'm thankful to him for sharing his platform with you guys as well, with us right now. So I'm just
Does
thankful.
Grant Phillips have an @ on Instagram at the moment?
Yeah,
It's, hey, how you doing? It's
Yeah, how are you?
what's up, Ed? It's at Grant Phillips Music. That's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you again. I appreciate taking the time, and there's so much experience and knowledge, and I look forward to hearing the project.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. I'm going to be signing off. In case I'm unable to on my end, just be sure to repost it on IGTV.
You got it, bro.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. You got it. Still